Good morning. We are so privileged. Welcome to our podcast, Success Mastery Podcast. Wow. In this beautiful day, I'm so privileged to have with me Lady Rita and Lady Precious Nyasha. Wow. Today, we're talking about a very important aspect of life. And as we look through our book, the 12-week plan, we are learning so much. Now, on this particular episode, we want to talk about accountability and ownership, and this part of the learning shifted my mind. It helps us to see how accountability, being seen as ownership, can actually help us drive high performance. So I don't want to really go too far, but I want to start straight with my question by asking Lady Rita her overall view on this particular chapter. So the question is, how does the chapter redefine the traditional accountability that we know, how we used to explain it before, by linking it to our own personal responsibility, ownership. So how does accountability, redefined from the traditional way we know, gear us to have personal ownership of what we do?
Wow. Thank you so much for this topic. And also I want to say hello to all the viewers. When we talk about the traditional accountability, in my perspective, it's like the traditional way is like we focus most of the time on the external pressure. Like, for example, if you are a boss take in charge of you, control you and everything. But when it comes to the accountability of our recent the book redefined, then it means that we need to take full responsibility. It's personal ownership. That is where you take full responsibility of yourself. You are being owned by yourself. Nobody controls your life. And I can give an example like instead of the traditional way is instead of you putting blames, instead of you putting blames on others, well, maybe you want to achieve some goals and it does not go well with you, and putting blames, the other person, the ownership, take full responsibility, accept the mistakes, and then make an amends, learn, and that makes you take in charge of yourself. So yeah.
It's so interesting you said that, because when I looked at this particular chapter, I thought accountability is something somebody must hold you up to,
Yes.
because we always say, please hold me accountable. Oh, I need somebody to hold me accountable to do something. But that is wrong, because like you said, then we are basing ourselves on external things. You are waiting for somebody to hold you accountable to do the things you need to do. So if we don't find anybody to hold us accountable, we use it as an excuse why we didn't do what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So the book talk about the fact that in that place, our mindset is, I have to. Like we see it as an obligation. Whereas it's being redefined in the aspect of ownership, you choose to do it.
Yes.
So you now coming from your own personal power and responsibility.
Yes.
I choose to show up. I choose to be responsible for this. I choose to do this assignment. You're not waiting for your boss to come and tell you to do that, because you have to know. You see it and you do it. And when we operate at that level, we become more proactive.
Yes.
We become more proactive because you're not waiting. And like you said, external things, you're waiting for the government to change. You're waiting for your partner to change, your children to change, everything to change before you change. But when you take it from a personal ownership, no, I choose to live this kind of life. and I own it to myself to do it. I'm not doing it for me to be rewarded, because that sometimes in the past, that's how I used to understand, because they hold you accountable. Then when you do the right thing, you are rewarded, and when you do the wrong thing, you are punished.
Yeah.
But from ownership standpoint, you're not looking to be rewarded. You just do the thing.
Yeah,
you are self-motivated. You come from a place of, wow, this, I'm doing it and I'm giving it my all. Like Rita also said, another aspect, he said, be careful so that when we are waiting for people to hold us accountable, we do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You see, and I want to channel that question to Auntie Nyasha, because this accountability thing, even the redefinition of it, just as Rita was saying, changed my mind. Because I was among the people who were saying, oh, I need somebody to hold me accountable to do this.
Yeah.
No. Own up to it.
When you let others hold you accountability, you lose this confidence.
Yeah, because there will be no consistency. You're waiting, so you can't have confidence like that. Very true. Very true. So my second question goes to Lady Nyasha. And the question is a bit tricky, but I know you. It says, how do you determine which lead and lag measures are the most critical in your 2-week plan? And what practical tips? So it's twofold. So maybe we should first do the first one. How do you determine which lead and lag measures are the most critical in your 2-week goal?
Sure. Thank you once again for having me today. So when we talk about lag and lead, lag, it is the results that you want to achieve, your goal. So the lead, it is the process, the how you have to do whatever you have to do. So what you need to think of is the goal. And so if your goal, for example, it's, let's say, weight loss. How are you going to achieve maybe the kilos you want to have? If it is a financial goal, how are you going to achieve whatever you want to do financially? So I'll give an example. Let's say I would want to make some savings for maybe emergency savings. That's my goal. How much do I need to have? Maybe I want to have my 6 months salary. So I would have to look for ways on how I can achieve that. So the first thing is, how much is my salary? I put it down. And then I will look for ways now on how I can save that money. So for example, I would say maybe in the next 3 months, this is what I want to do. So when we look, for example, let's think about the 12-week plan. So the 12-week plan, I would say in 12 weeks, I need to achieve, let's say, if like I said, my salary is 3,000. Maybe every month, or maybe I would say every week, I will save 100 euro. With that 100 euro, if I calculate it with 12 months, maybe I'll be having, let's say, 1,200. So I have achieved that goal. How did I do it? How do you do it? So maybe it's an automatic saving that I have to do. So by doing so, it really helps me to reach the goal that I want to reach. And the good thing is, when I do that, it gives, coming back to what Lady Rita was saying, that accountability, the responsibility, and the satisfaction that I will have in accomplishing that thing, the confidence that I will have that, so I can accomplish this within this period. Yes. So it's really about focus, about determination, and taking the responsibility to do it.
I love it.
Please, can I come in with some example? The beginning of this year, I made this lag measure, and which is, I asked myself what I want to achieve. And then the lead measure, I asked myself, so what kind of action do I want to take? And I was weighing. My weight was then 75. So I said, then I want to take off the 5 from the 70. So then I asked myself again, okay, 5 kilos. Okay, 5 kilos. Okay, what do I need to do? The action is, okay, I need to drink 2 liters of water every day. No sugar. I don't take sugar and salt, not too much salt. And then what again? I exercise 4 times in a week.
Good.
That was the principle I was using, and I lost the 5 kilos. From January to this time, the 5 kilos is gone because the reason why it was also effective because I did not eat too much starchy food like before. I used to eat. Yes. So it's true. Yeah. It's true.
I love it because we're still talking about accountability as ownership. You know, when you put down your lag and you determine what lead you needed to take to get you there, lead measures you needed to take to get you there, you didn't wait for somebody to come and tell you, wait, drink water now. Somebody to come at the end of the week to say, how far did you go? You were self-motivated because you know what exactly you wanted to achieve. Yes. And you committed yourself to it, you see, and it got you the result, high performance result. Yeah. But if you had sat down and said, how am I going to just get this 5 kilo off? And you come to me and you say, oh, Sister Frida, please, can you just hold me accountable? I'm not in your home when you're eating your food. I'm not there when whether you drink water or you don't drink water, whether you exercise. You can only give me feedback on what you said you did. But the results at the end of the day will show whether you put in the work or not. So that is why the traditional accountability usually doesn't work for us. You know, anytime we say we want to save, and we want somebody to make it happen for us or hold us accountable, we must hold ourselves accountable. Yes. Know what you want, work towards it, and hold yourself accountable to that which you say you want to do. Yes. Simple. It's not that simple, but it's simple. Yeah. But
putting up your mind to be accountable, it brings commitment. Because if you don't commit yourself, it's not possible to be accountable.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I think when, just like the 2 examples you ladies cited, when you make up your mind to achieve something from the place of ownership, you are self-motivated. This is something you want. This is not something Frida said you should do. You should want. You want it because if you don't want it and you barely doing it because your boss told you, your husband told you, your children expect it from you, you will not have the discipline to keep yourself committed to what it is that you say you want to do. You see? So many times when we say people should hold us accountable, which is good, there is room for accountability. But I believe the best way is to hold yourself accountable and get the work done and let somebody come confirm that you did what you say you do. So like, for instance, when you determine your lag, okay, this is what I want to achieve and this is ABC I'm going to do to get there. You share it with somebody you can trust that is mature enough. But all the person would do is at the end of your term, the 12-week or 1 year, whatever, I look at you when you said it, probably your kilo, your weight, he saw the scale, and then you will show your end result and they will say, wow, you did it. But they are not going to hold our hands. Because before, that's how I used to say, oh, hold my hands, like motivate me. No, nobody can motivate you to do anything. We have to be self-motivated. I want to congratulate you on your 5
Yes.
kilo
Yes, 5
weight
kilos
loss.
actually
Yes.
supposed to be 10, but I started with the 5 kilos.
Keep
so
at it and
was-
keep
Yes.
taking ownership, because why are you doing it? You want to live healthy, you want to live long,
Sure.
you understand the motivation is there, and you will keep yourself motivated. If I come and say, Rita, we are going to do a marathon and now you have to lose 5 kilos, it's a whole different ball game. If you're doing it, you will be doing it from a perspective, I have to.
Yes.
I have to.
Yeah.
And you will do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You get it? But when you're self-motivated, you're stretching yourself to it. Whether people are applauding you, they are not applauding, they're looking, they're not looking. You are self-motivated. You know why you're doing it. So I want to take my third question. Oh, no, the second part of the first question, yes. It says, and what are practical tips you would offer for someone who is trying to move from vague goals? Tomorrow, by this time next year, I want to have 200 euro in my account. By this time next year, I want to lose 5K. Those are vague goals, yeah, not specific. What tips can you give them so that they can move from the vague goals to specific, actionable metrics? Let me throw it to you again, because the first part was also for you, Lady Nyasha.
Okay. So I would say the first thing is know what you want to do. What exactly is it that you want to achieve? When do you want to achieve it? And when you know when you need to achieve it, it's not about rushing to achieve the thing. But what is important is the in-between. How are you going to do it? So you need to break the ways in which you have to do whatever you want to achieve. So I would say when you do that, actually there's a saying which says little steps achieve much than you rushing to complete something. So take your time. If what you want to achieve will take 1 year, what are you doing on a daily basis? Because that is what counts. What are you doing in the now? Because that is what counts. What are you doing in the next hour? Because that is what counts.
True.
And when you do it with all your heart. Put 100% effort in the little steps, because the little steps will take you to the
Bigger
ultimate
one.
goal. Yes.
Awesome.
So that will also help you to measure where you are doing well, where you are not doing well. Where you are doing well, applaud yourself. Where you are not doing well, sit, think, reflect. How can I improve this thing until you reach to your goal?
Yeah.
So really taking 1 day at a time, 1 minute, 1 hour at a time. That's the best thing.
Awesome. I love it. I really love it, because we all used to have New Year resolutions. Yeah, before, when we were really vague goals. At the end of the year, I want to lose this weight, I want to travel, I will start drinking more water. But we don't specify it, and we don't, like you said, we don't put a deadline to it. Yeah. And so we keep pushing it. Because there was no deadline, January will pass, February will pass, we're still holding on to the old habits that were not serving us. And we keep pushing it because there was no deadline. But like you said, know what you want, set a deadline to it. And don't wait for the deadline to come before you start taking actionable decisions. Yes. Start day by day, because what we do every day helps to arrive at what it is we want to do, or not. If we are if I want to go to Brussels and every day my direction is towards Liège, I will never arrive at Brussels. No. Yeah. So the daily actionable matrix that we do, little things, helps bring us to our goal, and then you reach there and you feel fulfilled. There is no magic in this, because I just want to bring, because sometimes we think other people that are achieving this, that are achieving their goals, that they have one special superpower. Yeah. No. The only thing that they have is they understand that clarity of what it is you want is key, and having a deadline and consistently
Consistency,
working
yes.
daily towards it, whether you feel like it, you don't feel like it, things are going well, they know you wake up and you're doing what you said you would do, gets them the victories that they want. And when we look at them, we didn't, like you said, the in between we didn't see. Whilst they were falling and rising, going, even when everything in them says no, when they were pushing, whether they were sick, they were well, they were pushing. That we don't see. We only see the beginning. We see them say, wow, they are super. Yes, they are super in execution. They are super in doing the little things, the little details, in taking ownership over everything, not blaming others. No, I didn't do this because this one didn't help me. This one, no, they were not blaming her. They were taking ownership. It doesn't go well. Where can I now change? How did I make that mistake? Why didn't I discipline myself to save that €100 I said I will? Not because prices have gone high, and we end up making so much excuses that at the end of the road we cannot see what have been achieved, and we are not. We get demotivated, and we say it doesn't work. We end by saying it doesn't work, and we sit down. You see, so really, really, I love the way you broke it down. We still have a little time, so let me just shoot my last question, and this is going to go to Lady Rita. I have my question here. So, how can embracing the concept of accountability as ownership enhance your commitment to achieving your 12-week goals? How can embracing it, like accountability as ownership, like we're talking about, how can it help somebody to enhance their commitment to whatever it is that they say they're going to do so they can achieve their goals?
Yes, I wrote something here. I said, when you see accountability as an ownership, you become internally driven rather than external pushed, and you stop waiting for conditions to be perfect or for someone to check in, but you take the initiative and make course correction and stay committed regardless of the circumstances. So that is where the planning come in, the 12-week plan comes in. I remember one time I decided to plan a kind of a plan, and when I made the plan, I wanted to lead a worship, so leading worship, I was finding a way to know how to lead a worship. So the plan I made was to spend like three times a day watching YouTube audios, how the people lead worship and everything. So I was doing it, and thank God, not like one time. I was doing it consistently, committed, because the committed comes with the results. And I started doing it, and my God, if I compare this plan to my previous, I've seen a lot of improvements in my worship life.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. So, because you could also have said, let me just do it the way I'm used to doing it.
Yes.
And stay in your comfortable zone.
I was doing everything, like the way they lead the worship, and then the worship is like through the songs, they can put some words in the song. Oh, I was like imitating everything they were doing it, and at the end, now I can lead with confidence.
You understand?
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to get to. So you learn from them until you find your own flow. You learn from them until you find your own flow. Many times I hear people say, yeah, I'm just like that. My father didn't do this. My mother didn't do this. And we sit down.
Yeah.
And then my question is, okay, so when are you going to wake up to change that story to change that. How do they call it? Story around who is going to break it.
Break it. Yeah.
When are you going to wake up to do it differently? Are you going to repeat it and your children will come and repeat that? You need to wake up and make up your mind that this is how it has been, but it's going to stop here. And it's going to start with me because I'm going to choose to do things differently. And once you wake up, that will be the drive. You're now not looking back, like you said, you're not being influenced by externals, but you are like, okay, this way, how does it work? You are open to learn. You are open to study. People who have successful ancestry, how did they do it? What were they doing? What were their vision? What was their commitment? What were they giving themselves to? And you begin to walk in that. You will not see the result overnight.
No.
It will take time, because remember,
Process.
where you are breaking free from, it's been existing for years.
Yes.
But start now and keep at it. The light may shine, whether with you or the generation that comes after you, but pave a better way for them to also walk on. Don't make excuses. And many times that is a trap we find ourselves. So we sit down and we complain.
Yes. I love this. If I'm hearing you well, you are saying in order to break cycles, you have to make up your mind to be accountable. Once you decide
take ownership.
you decide to take ownership of certain things, you break cycles that have been happening over generations.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. When we look at scripture, you see anyone that stood up to say, Jabez, he took ownership. He didn't say, see what my mother be calling me. No. He acknowledged where he was. He didn't like it, but he knew what he wanted. He said, Lord, expand my territory. And he owned himself and he walked in that way. He didn't let that stop him. He paved a way for the generation after him to come, to walk differently, not live in pain, not live in scarcity, worry, anxiety, but to live in expansion, the expansion of God. So for me, ownership, accountability as ownership is the way forward.
Yeah.
We live in a society, everybody is blaming everybody. Everybody is blaming everybody. We blame leadership, we blame ourselves, we blame our mothers, our fathers, we blame even the cat in the house.
Everything is.
But the key is ownership. And so our listeners, we really hope and trust that you're being empowered, that wherever situation you find yourself, wake up and take ownership.
Yes.
Because it's in you. You can. The fact that you are irritated by the situation means the solution is in you.
Yes.
Take ownership and do things differently and see things turn around. We love you.
Let's go.